I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And welcome to Sofa Reviews. Today we're watching Mortal Kombat.
Released in 1995 and based off the hit video game, it was generally considered the best video game movie ever made.
Which it won by default, as all the others are shit.
We start the movie with Liu Kang's brother Chan losing a battle with Shang Tsung.
Your brother's soul is mine. You will be next.
Oh, it was all a dream. Which explains why he's got a perfect image of a guy he's never met and an event that he's never seen and even knows the guy's catchphrase.
Anyway, we cut to Sonya Blade with a cameo from Jax on the hunt for Kano.
Trust me, Sonya. I trust one person on this planet, Jax. You're talking to her.
If you don't trust him, why haven't you checked the perimeter yourself rather than just taking his word for it?
Further on in the club, we can see that Kano is waiting for Sonya.
She's here. Right on time. I love punctuality in a woman.
Yeah, I've had to split up with women because they weren't punctual enough.
Kano runs off while Sonya fights her way through guards.
Why doesn't anyone in the club react to this?
Instead, we get to meet our third hero of the movie, Johnny Cage.
We see him beating up some guys before finding out it's actually all staged for a film.
This is where you fall down.
Johnny storms off in order how the shoot went before bumping into his old mentor.
Johnny, you're one of the best martial artists in the world, and I can help you prove it.
Prove it. How?
A tournament. The tournament.
It's called Tekken.
We then see that this was actually Shang Tsung in disguise.
Finally, we see Liu Kang at the temple wanting to enter the tournament so that he can avenge his brother.
This provokes Connor McLeod to appear, having become Raiden, God of Thunder, after the quickening.
After a brief back and forth, Liu Kang storms off, which means he misses out hearing how much faith Raiden and his father have in him.
He isn't ready, my lord. And we've lost so much time.
I know. But there's no one else.
Later on at a dock, Liu Kang bumps into Johnny Cage as they wait for the boat to the tournament.
You want me to carry your luggage?
Yeah. I pay money, you carry the bags. Or is that too complicated?
No. I got it.
Thank God I didn't ask him to park the car.
You came in a taxi.
Kano gets on the boat as well, so Sonya runs after him, meaning all three of our heroes are off to the tournament.
They head downstairs where Shang Tsung is kind enough to introduce them to Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Raiden appears to break things up as it's clearly too early for a fight scene.
And because he's a bit of a dick, he tells them to follow him and then teleports away.
They catch up with Raiden and he explains the plot to them.
You have been chosen to defend the realm of Earth in a tournament called Mortal Kombat. The Emperor's demon sorcerer Shang Tsung and his warriors have to win 10 straight victories in Mortal Kombat. They have won 9.
So, unless you care about the fate of mankind, there's no pressure.
Later on, we arrive on Shang Tsung's island and we're introduced to Kitana.
When a woman looks at you like that, it usually means something.
A restraining order?
Watch her carefully, Reptile. Keep her away from these humans.
We see them all in a grand dining hall, having dinner, before Shang Tsung decides to put on a show for them.
What a brilliant host. Free food and then executes one of his own men for your enjoyment.
Our heroes go off to find Shang Tsung, only to stumble across Goro and Kano and a huge exposition dump.
Right. Shang Tsung is a sorcerer who collects souls, Kitana is the adopted daughter of the Emperor and so is likely to help the warriors of Earth, and Liu Kang is the chosen one.
They sneak off only to get lost, Johnny Cage leading them into a hallway.
Do you know where we're going?
I know exactly where we're going. Katana went this way. I can smell her perfume.
I smell something. Bullshit.
I'm impressed you can smell that over the stench of stuck-up bitch.
This at least leads to our first fight scene of the movie as our heroes fight off a bunch of guards.
Luckily, Raiden shows up to bail them out from the much larger group of armed guards that somehow snuck up on them.
I don't think so.
The next day, the tournament finally begins as Liu Kang fights some random guy whose special attack is roaring.
Okay, it's kind of a minor point, but why would you drop the sticks? You've doubled your weapons. I don't think you really need to care about the honour of fighting an unarmed man when you're trying to save the world.
Liu Kang wins and Shang Tsung just steals his opponent's soul.
Fatality.
Seriously, you're just going to watch that happening and no one's going to do anything?
The next fight is Sonya versus Kano. Kano dying as his neck is snapped between Sonya's legs.
For some reason, Johnny Cage is off walking through a forest, minding his own business, and so he gets attacked by Scorpion.
Fun fact, co-creator of Mortal Kombat Ed Boon voices Scorpion in this movie as he does in the games.
Get over here!
Right, so if he's able to summon this random metal self-propelling mouth thing from his hand, why does it then suddenly have a limit on how far it can go?
Johnny Cage attempts to kick Scorpion but ends up getting teleported into his lair.
After battling for a while, Scorpion gets bored and takes his mask off, revealing that he's actually Ghost Rider.
Luckily for Johnny, there are some weapons nearby and he can finish Scorpion off.
Then things get even weirder as Scorpion decides to blow up for no particular reason, and then a signed photo of Johnny Cage appears.
It is pretty cool though that we get to see both Scorpion's fatality and Johnny Cage's friendship move in the same fight.
Anyway, the next fight is Liu Kang against Kitana.
This is really just so the two characters can have a chat. Kitana giving some advice to Liu about the next fight.
To win your next match, use the element which brings life.
Element that brings life. Nitrogen?
Liu Kang wins, so we're shown the next arena.
We see Raiden place a plot device before Liu Kang is attacked by Sub-Zero.
As they fight, it seems Liu Kang has the upper hand until Sub-Zero remembers he has ice powers.
Kitana appears to remind Liu of what she said 3 minutes ago, and it appears neither of them know what an element is.
Water.
Liu Kang defeats Sub-Zero by throwing the water at him, turning into an icicle and freezing him solid. We then cut to Shang Tsung deciding that finally it's time to use Goro.
So we get to see the might of Goro in action, with a montage of guys being thrown onto the floor with no sign of Goro at all.
We do finally get to see Goro in action though as he fights some guy that Johnny Cage knows.
Oh no, he's holding your hands, and there's no other limbs you can use in a fight.
Goro finishes him off and Shang Tsung adds another soul to his collection.
Later, Raiden explains they need to face their fears to win, rather than beating the other guy.
Johnny challenges Goro, accepting Shang Tsung's terms that he can choose the final battle.
At the fight, Johnny demonstrates the power of brains over brawn.
Johnny leads Goro to a cliff before kicking him off.
And because Sonya hasn't done anything for the last 20 minutes, she gets kidnapped so Shang Tsung can challenge her.
Liu and Johnny enter the portal to Outworld.
This is not good. But I'm fine.
For no particular reason, Liu is now able to detect Reptile and then throws him into a statue which eats him, turning him into a ninja.
I have no idea why this happens as it's not in the games in any real way, but it does lead to the best fight of the movie.
You know it's a good fight because Johnny just hangs back watching rather than helping out.
Liu Kang eventually wins using his bicycle kick before meeting up with Kitana.
In Shang Tsung's tower, we see Sonya is either being presented to King Kong or it's date night.
Luckily for her, the others manage to sneak in so Liu Kang can challenge Shang Tsung.
After being punched in the face once, Shang Tsung decides he's had enough of fighting and summons some goons.
Liu defeats all the goons pretty quickly just to find that Shang Tsung has run off.
You will die.
Well, of course he will. He is mortal after all.
Liu confronts Shang Tsung, who turns into his brother Chan.
It can't be you.
Raiden sent me to help you.
You're not really Chan.
Remember when our parents died?
Our parents aren't dead. They just don't like you.
Liu seems to get taken in by the illusion as spikes start rising from the ground.
And it's very good of Johnny, Katana and Sonya to just watch this and not say anything.
Liu finally snaps out of it before having a brief battle with Shang Tsung and smashing him into the spikes.
This frees all of the souls, and after some soppy nonsense with his brother, he meets up with the others.
Back on Earth, the heroes meet up with Raiden to celebrate their victory, and the film ends with some sequel baiting from a giant CGI Shao Kahn.
You weak, pathetic fools, I've come for your souls.
I don't think so.
And in conclusion, I love this movie. It's my favourite movie based on a video game, and mainly because I love Mortal Kombat. The way it's shot, the lighting, and every scene and set really does make it feel like the games have come to life, bringing a new sense of atmosphere that wasn't there originally, but really feels fitting for the series.
Okay, sure, a lot of it does look pretty good, and they've stuck with using real people and props, and even the animatronic Goro, but then it makes it much more annoying when you get a lot of the CGI, which has obviously become incredibly dated now, and doesn't fit in at all with the rest of the film, and is actually quite jarring. They'd have been better off not using any CGI at all.
However, the cast is brilliant. Characters like Johnny Cage, Sonya and Liu Kang all feel like the characters come to life, not just as caricatures of who they once were, but adding a lot more as well. Liu Kang in the games is just some random hero who's destined to win. In this one he has more motivation and actually has drama.
Of course, then part of the problem with that is they seem to have too many characters and don't really know what to do with a lot of them. You got Raiden, Kano, Goro, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, who are all kind of interesting and cool, but only feature for maybe 10 minutes in the film.
Yeah, but the main focus of the story is Robin Shao's character Liu Kang. He does a great job in the role, and bringing a lot of life to the character that wasn't there in the video games. As said, they add a lot more dimension to the character rather than just having been the generic hero of the game. He has the plot with his brother who's died, he's got the redemption to deal with, and he's still got this destiny looming over his head.
Of course, this does just then cheapen the journey of everyone else. Sonya is there mainly after revenge and apparently needs to learn to trust others, and the main point of her journey is get on a boat, kill a guy, get kidnapped. Johnny Cage is very arrogant, needs to learn to become more responsible and mature, so he punches a guy in the dick.
Ultimately though, it's a simple and effective storyline that doesn't alter things from the games too much and works on screen brilliantly. It also leads to a brilliant fight between Liu Kang and Reptile, which is, quite frankly, very energetic and kicks ass. In my opinion, it's the best example of a video game movie. It's everything they should be, capturing the look, feel, the sense of adventure, the characters, and the fights.
Sorry.
It's a film about a fighting tournament, although the rules of the tournament are never particularly explained. There's a bizarre thing about Sonya being challenged, but she doesn't have to accept the challenge. None of it really makes much sense. Most of the fight scenes are dull or heavily edited, most of the characters don't get much screen time or explanation. They probably should have dropped a couple or made the film longer to actually explore this. Ultimately, the film ends up feeling like quite a lot of an anticlimax.
Just another starstruck fan, huh?